line that you have to hold for this trade, and this is your wedge. And this is why I set up the windows this morning, so you have every price point, every rejection point when you break. These are your adjusting trailing stops all the way up. So imagine you cleared all the way up to 166, and you had your trailing stop at 165. You've kept from 162 to 165 and kept all that profit. So by the time this dropped here and this candlestick sell-off came, wouldn't matter. You already kept your profit. You could have shorted below this line here and held till now. So whenever you guys see my charts, I'll start putting price points so you guys know where each level is. So you would be able to create these lows and then create drops like these and know you can get your percentage plays. And then when you fail this line here, you already know it's a confirm. There's no bounce because this was your breakout to where you had a support here, your confirmed drop here. So failing this here confirms your additional drop. That's why it's always important to look left. And that's why you're having a little pressure here because everyone thinks this is support. But if there's not but the smarter traders will be like, no, that's not real support. They know once this breaks is continuation. So why buy at a line of support that isn't secured, knowing that this was just a push in the beginning of the market that imagine trader one buys here. As it gets here, trader one will start selling off their shares. Now everybody is chasing for this reversal. But if you knew that this one candlestick's potential was this much range, once you fail this 50%, that means there is no buyers at the moment. This is the only time you'll be remaining bullish is if you stay above this 50% to this line right here. 50% of this range. And once you fail this, you know you're going to have continuous drops, as said. And then you're in another short. All you're making sure is it doesn't bounce here. You're always going to watch the previous high points once it drops below. You look if you need. You can watch. Oh, I don't even have my MACD on here. Let me see. Let me turn my MACD. Where is mine? Let me get my MACD somewhere. MACD. Okay. That's just okay. So you know you're under the MACD here. Whenever you look at MACDs, it's kind of there's still a pattern to it, right? So you would be like, okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means 6, 7 would be my average flip. I could take this range here and take this drop, and this is my actual MACD I could be following. Meaning around here to here is where you would see the run up, right? This would be your yellow candle showing up here. This is your third candle confirming the break above here again. Everything is same as a pattern. Like this is a cup, this is an inverse cup. So you want to watch patterns because that is one of your biggest signs of how things can play out. And even if it doesn't hit there, you know that if it's rejecting and it's starting to turn here and create this movement where it does this to this, that means you're taking the shorter reversal for this pattern. You just follow, like I said. Once that breaks, you were good. You have a little bear push. Why? Because of this point of contraction here where you had a breakout. This is where a lot of people would set buy zones, your POC line, your confirmed breakout line. People always like to set their trades back up over there. That's why we say Apple, don't hold. You're waiting for Apple. The next one you're waiting for is this drop. We're going to look at the 188 up. See, goes over. We're probably going to clear this. Hit the 187, making your chop window a run up here. Now, whenever you're looking for a run up, what do you look for a breakout? Whenever it has a double bottom, all it's going to do is range it correct, right? Whenever you want a breakout, you want to look at these signals. I call it a slap shot because it's like when you're going in for a side, a lower low drop gives you a better chance of a spring up. So you're always looking for your lower low opportunities because these are the divergences for the run up. So this would be your 1, divergence 2, leg up 3, divergence 4 to your last 5 breakout. So always look for the flag. That's your best friend whenever you're looking for entries. So this would be a chop. Wouldn't take it. You could set alerts at 187.86 for those drops because not take it yet. Because remember, you'll have enough confirmation candlesticks to let you know that it's going to go up. Right now, you know it's a waste of time unless you're going to play this short. But this short could only be like candlesticks like this and then flush you out because they're choppy. Don't get hit with theta, especially if you don't have the trading opportunities to make a lot of trades during the week. Don't do it because the theta will hit you. Good morning, mister. Now, AMD is still dropping. We're looking at now the wedge line where we created. We're still waiting for that drop. You have to fail above 162.86 and drop to 160. 2.5 point spread if you end up playing the next pop drop. But this is where you would create the 162. You create that put. Now you would also straddle if it goes below 162 and starts 161. You would start looking at the calls all the way up to 163 to 164. You can go in the money at 160, get your play. You know, like when you stagger trades, you go to 160 in the money, you take the market call, you're in the trade, starting to make money. But then, because you know your target's at 162 to 163, I would wait for the 163 until the 162 hits, but I would take a 162 call on top of that because you're gonna make more money once 162 hits because why? Because people are buying your contracts now. And as it goes up, the contract. Lava just flagged down, went surpassed, hit our drop here from 67 down low. Let's see what it'll actually do in the next half hour. It'll give us a 10-minute projection. So that's our next range down drop. So we're looking for your drop on BABA. If you fail at 66.98 to drop down at 64.75. That means your new breakup structure to bullish again will be 66.94. So we've cleared these 2 trade zones. Your next trade zone to watch, it'll continuously drop if it fails 66.94. Don't be eager because it can drop, pop back up here at 67 and you can get your better puts once you hit that. That'll be at 2.5 to 3 points. Google's still on an upwards process. Watch the higher highs. These higher highs will create the range. Again, the flag, get over here. You're looking at 142 to 148. But I would always use this previous resistance as a confirmation at 145. Use this target points over here. You're looking at a bounce entry around 140. You can also short when it rejects because it's still a 3-point short, but I would pick a short when it falls below this candlestick here at 144. Why? Because that is a confirmation you filled the low here. This body right now where it's rejecting is because of this double top region. You have a lower high here, meaning you need to wait for one more drop candle. Right now you have no wicks down below, so you're just waiting for the reversal. Maybe in about 2 candles, which is about an hour for that confirmation. That's why I said 1 hour, because you can still create this best opportunity on the low time frame. But then once it does this and drops, this is when you enter the short. You don't enter shorts while it's still up in these windows. See? Those lines we created on the higher time frame, this is the reason. Because we know it's going to drop, but if you enter the short without confirming crossing a certain level, you're going to be buying, selling. See what Meta's doing. Meta should be on a consolidation right here. Yep. And it's a small window. I wouldn't really worry about it. 379 to 382. Contracts are kind of higher on Meta. And on a Friday, you could hold, but you're going to end up paying for this data on a Friday when you can wait on Monday and enter this when it's around 384 to pay to 399. So this flag up is nice. It's higher high than your previous range. So as long as you're above this pivot point over here, you know you're good. So what you're looking for is a continuation trade zone that you're going to be trying to enter when it hits at 382 on Monday. So Meta, just write it off. You entered today. You can enter at 382 today on a Friday, or enter and not pay the theta over the weekend and enter 382. The points will be a little higher, but the fact that you're not playing for the weekend theta, it'll probably be cheaper in the long run. We hit our target range. You're going back in your chop range. So 393 to 395, 96 would be your next play for Microsoft. If and only if it holds this line here, you have to make sure it holds this chop range. Below the chop range, you can retest these lower prices before a run up. It can create you another wedge. So for you, you would have, create the wedge. This is your drop range. So that's what you want to watch out for. Because all these are just all these are just really choppy ranges. You don't want to make any decisions until you surpass the 395. Meaning, if you do pass the 395, 22 to 95, this drop range here will shift, and this will be a drop from here to here. Anything with big spikes and wick candles, understand the market's just going to try to get you right afterwards in accumulation. And then whoever has more money making the better trades at the end, that balance will create the leg up. But this is just a divergence. Let it do its movement. Don't ever anticipate a trade. Allow it to progress and then take the right position. Because a point's a point, especially in options. This is our setup drop. We entered here at 17,227. You would have made your full 100 point right there. Do it not once, but twice. Now you could create this next entry here. If it fails under 17,211, you're going to watch the drop all the way down to 17,172. So that's your next target point. But these two plays would have gave you great ranges. And you'll probably retest that right about, what is this? So this is 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21 minutes in this chop. And after the 21st minute, we go 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 24, 30 minutes of potential drops. So it's about a 50-minute trade for this trend. Whenever you're also setting up your trades, right? The thing to watch for is where did you confirm? So even if it's going down, that's why you see me create an upper and lower deviation, because I want to know if it pops, these are what I'd play. to the bull trap. If it goes surpass it, that means I'm bullish above it, and I could have took a trade from here to here to my next pyramid zone. But the fact that it did it, I got a confirmation that it remained under here, and I could have taken any trades below this price point. This is why I set all these price points up for you this morning. See? Remember that line we created? Right there. Easy peasy. Would have hit that trade right at that reversal right there. Now, chop range, higher high, resistance here. If you don't surpass the 579, fall below the 575, you can go all the way down to 570, which is a decent thing for NVIDIA, which is, 5-point play for NVIDIA is like a 1% play almost only, because the fact that the range is, I think, is in 5s, if not 3s. I don't trade NVIDIA too much. I don't like their contract prices. But I wouldn't take this until you fell under this line, meaning you wouldn't enter until you hit the 576.07 and drop below this line. And then you can play this short opportunity from here to here, taking every pivot point below as a chop. So this is your drop. You could flip at the 574 and then bounce up to 580. So you have to be careful. If you drop here and wick down, you want to make sure you have your continuation. Always look at your MACD. Your MACD is still on a bullish divergence until it breaks this midline here. You're not really bearish yet. You're still in the chop zone accumulation. The chop zone will be in this range from this point to this point. This is your chop zone. All my other charts you see has macro. After each day, I'm going to delete it and set up new trades, because you can see if I do this every day, you'll have price notes everywhere that look bananas. PayPal broke out of its breaker structure here. These are all more minor plays, flag up. Now you're in the range where you break 64.21. You're looking at the 64.99 target. So say your new target range is here. This is your chop break. If you're in the trade, this was your continuation. SPX, just like SPY, if it runs, this will run too. So above 47.98, your new top to watch for is 48.25 on this play. That's why the windows we set up for that breakout, we chopped there. You could have got in it from when I told you before, or got in a little bit after 10 o'clock and still be in this play, and you would have skipped this theta. So there was room for a lot of those plays that was dropped this morning for y'all to get into. And that's why I also said watch, don't use the projection until you see the confirmation. And these are all the price notes. Right now, you're hitting this, your next break of structure is this 478. And now your target will be the 480. So 2-point play on SPY. A lot of people like to use 1 minute, but I like to do the 3 minutes. Because why? Because anyways, I count in rule of threes, right? So I'm going to focus on every third candle. This will let you know more movement without having to be like, oh, it's going up, it's going down. Because all this took three candlesticks. This up and down movement would have been up 1 candle, 2 candlesticks down, and then you would have, watch. See? Up 1 movement, 2 candlesticks down. Remember, dojis are always warnings. If you get a lower high on your histogram on the MACD, that's a signal to be careful. You need to have a drop and then a higher high for continuation. Otherwise, this level right here, past my pyramid line, this section from 480 to 80.66 could take you from 40.77.11, 66-cent drop down back here to this base support here. So you have to watch out that it could get you in your chop zone. Yes, remember, it's going up, projection, but what you have to make sure is, has it broke structure to actually take the trade up? Otherwise, you wait because you could get better entries. Like we said, wait, patience is key. This one's nice, a nice little trade to get into. Looks like they'll have a good afternoon, but if you break the 470, 477, just